Okay, so some exciting times for the WWE and some bad times for TNA, GFW, Anthem, Impact, Spike, Pop, Destination America, whatever the other company calls itself. So, Ethan Carter III was granted his release, as was Bobby Lashley. Now, of course, Bobby Lashley, during his first run of the E, too much, too fast. If they would have had an NXT back then, he would have been great to have spent, a couple months down in there to really get himself fully well-rounded. Because right now, still looks like $1 million. Has a legit MMA background. Genetic freak. His initials are BL. And he has this great, quiet, unassuming, calm demeanor, but you just know he can snap you like a toothpick. He would be flat out money in the E. Whether it was, they brought him in as a Brock Lesnar sort of guy where he wrestles only every now and then, but he's got the look, he's got a background pedigree, he's improved enough in the ring that he is easily a guy who can show up, be upper mid, main event talent guy. It would almost be great to see him come back and maybe have him help mold somebody like an Apollo Crews. Then you have another guy who's highly athletic, has a quiet, unassuming persona, but needs that killer edge that you could get from a guy who actually is, has MMA background. And of course, certain matches like Lesnar-Lashley work, Strowman-Lashley, Reigns-Lashley, Big Show-Lashley would be a nice replay from what they did way back when. And then they could actually use the footage of Donald Trump if they wanted to. And also, I think it's Lauren Van Ness, who, solid. I don't see the E picking her up right away because they did get a lot of talent due to the Mae Young Classic, because they picked up a lot of talent there. And they've kind of got their severe pick when it comes to who they want in the way of women. And they're also in the process of probably hiring Candice LeRae, which would be great, because then she could travel with her husband, Jenny Gargano. And you know what? Candice LeRae is another really good pick. Think of her like the perma face version of Alexa Bliss, just better in the ring. Just think about it. I'll give you a moment. So the other really large hit they could pick up, Ethan Carter III. His first run in the E as Derek Bateman wasn't memorable. It had moments. You could tell that he understood it. It was also during the time when Hugh Morris would, kind of Weinstein people. He complained about it. He was people could let go, so he didn't have the best way of leaving the E. But ironically, he turned that into a great character, Ethan Carter III. The issue I see with that is all his great work with Ethan Carter III is tied to Dixie Carter, which is tied to TNA. It's like, do you bring him in with the revelation of, oh hey, I did this stuff for another company. The Dixie Carter is known, but not as well known as like an Eric Bischoff during that time frame. So his initial ceiling is kind of low. Because he doesn't have as much name recognition, they're going to have a hard time talking about a lot of his past. And, him being related to Dixie Carter doesn't hold as much sway. If they didn't or do an illegitimate child angle, not a play on the Kurt Angle. But I mean, if they tried to do some, if he was, Ethan McMahon III. You could do something kind of like that. And I think with that, he could work very, very well. I was picked, of course, Spud. Spud, great mouthpiece. Smaller guy, would work great on 205 Live. And I think having him do a mic battle with Enzo Amore could be some pretty solid TV. Back to Ethan Carter III. The issue that I see with him on the main roster, he's better in the ring than The Miz, but Miz is better on the mic. So he fits into, he has an odd spot on Raw. On SmackDown, he kind of hits the Bobby Roode mold. A younger version of Bobby Roode. But I think if you put him in NXT, then during people like Drew McIntyre, whenever he comes back, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Andrade Cien Almas, Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream. There's enough guys there that he can put on some good quality matches and build a reputation for himself there, get more of the E-universe acclimated to him and to his style, get him used to the way the E does their programming. Boom. You have him show up 90 days from now, he would be the guy who would show up around WrestleMania time at NXT. I would think he wouldn't need that much seasoning. I would probably say he becomes a surprise as either next year's Royal Rumble, or if he does really, really well and the crowd really gets behind him, he could easily be a guy to bring in Survivor Series. He just needs a little bit of season, just a little bit. But if he goes to NXT, he might be in there with a pretty stacked group as well. They picked up War Machine. The hot tag team. Just picturing that moment where two guys who are athletic and like 600 pounds have matches with the authors of Pain or Sanity. Because Sanity with Killian Dane and whoever they pick for the second guy, it's a car wreck. At the same time, seeing how well they would work against the Undisputed Era or Heavy Machinery. I think they could put a really solid feud too against Tito and Sabatelli, because now all of them, the guys who are big, are dwarfed in size. Street Profits. They come up to the main roster. Man, they could have sick matches with the Usos. They would be a very good physical threat to a team like The Bar. Because again, they'd be a bigger version. Bigger, younger, faster, a little bit stronger. Or even taking on a Shield. Or have them just absolutely destroy a team like the Ascension. Or taking on the New Day. That team alone matches up beautifully, because they're a legit tag team with so many other tag teams. And they could work singles matches too, but there's just so many people that they work well against. And then, probably one of the best gets they've gotten in a while. A man known as Ricochet, or Prince Puma. Built like, he's got the godlike physique that works beautifully well. And he is smooth. He is smooth like silk in the ring. Will he go all out? He won't need to. I could see him being a guy where fans know, like, here's his 100%. In the E, he might give 80. Might give 80. But then that means when he does a big event, like a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania or a TakeOver main event, he's taking on the right sort of guy. He's going to kick it into that full high gear, and the crowd's going to go, that dude. That dude. Where's his shirt? I'm buying his shirt. That dude's awesome. As long as they don't go, congratulations, thanks. Here's the purple belt. No. But Cruiserweight, no. Unless you start allowing the Cruiserweights people on 205 to challenge for mid-card titles. Get involved in Money in the Bank ladder matches. Or King of the Rings, or the Royal Rumble. He's a guy where if you put him in that, here you're in the Cruiserweight division, no, that is a guy you put in a mid-card title picture. Let him wow the crowd. And then, that's a guy where depending on how well he does in front of an E audience, I mean, he might amaze them enough that he could be a guy that you put in a main event. Easily. He's got the look, he's got the skill set, and maybe they bring in his either girlfriend or fiance, which of course is Tessa Blanchard, who has a great pedigree. If she could soften her attitude, boom. She has got a built-in genetic feud with the Four Horsewomen. And she's solid. Solid in the ring. There is an amazing group of individuals that the E has the opportunity either to bring it in or they have the opportunity to bring in. The only issue I could see is they might hit the point where they are so freaking stacked. But with guys getting injured left and right, and if they're doing more things on Facebook, maybe they could bring in some of these guys. Maybe they could use Facebook Live to push some other things, some other, quick matches here and there. Or maybe what they start doing is start taping stuff that they do at house shows, putting some of it on the network. Or taking some bits and pieces of that, doing a Facebook show or a YouTube show. They've got access to so much raw footage and so much people that they could very easily, or they do what everyone else wants them to do. You do the whole, here's what you're going to do. You're going to work 3 weeks, then we're going to give you a weekend off. Rest up, go home, heal up. Or you know what? You work 7 weeks, you get a weekend off. Give some slightly longer breaks here and there for the workers. So, I'll be honest, they've got the ability to bring in some absolutely game-changing talent. But first, they need to figure out how to properly use lots of what they currently have. And right now, the E actually could have probably one of the most stacked rosters they've ever had.